In our previous chapter, we awakened the silent power of the bone battery. We understood that the skeleton is a crystalline generator. But energy without a pathway is chaos. A battery needs a circuit, a power plant needs a grid. Without a delivery system, that internal lightning has nowhere to go. Today, we look beyond the hard structures of the frame and into the very fabric of human connectivity. We unveil the most misunderstood, most ignored, and most suppressed organ in the entire human vessel. This is the system that turns a collection of 300 bones and 600 muscles into a single, unified, sovereign entity. This is not about the red meat of the muscles, and it is not about the gray matter of the nerves. This is about the shimmering, translucent web that encases them all. This is the world of the fascia. I am Dr. Julian Thorne, and in Chapter 18, we decode the fascial web, the living fiber optic system. For decades, the high priests of traditional medicine dismissed fascia as mere packaging material. In every anatomy book of the last century, fascia was described as the thin, white film to be cut away during surgery to reach the important parts, the heart, the liver, the bicep. They were functionally blind to the truth. Fascia is not just a biological wrap, it is a liquid crystalline matrix that functions as a high-speed fiber optic network. It is the primary communication system of the body, operating at a level of speed and complexity that makes the nervous system look like an antique telegraph. While your nerve sends signals at a few hundred miles per hour, your fascial web vibrates with information at the speed of sound within the tissue. It is the internet of your biology. Your fascia is a continuous, uninterrupted web of collagen, elastin, and reticular fibers, all bathed in a sea of structured water. Because of its specific crystalline arrangement, it possesses a remarkable property known as semiconductivity. It does not just hold your organs in place, it transmits intelligent data. When you shift your weight on your left foot, your right shoulder doesn't find out through a slow chemical nerve impulse. The entire fascial web vibrates with that information instantly, globally, and perfectly. This is why an injury in your ankle from 20 years ago can manifest as a chronic migraine today. The web is one. The web is whole. It is a biological hologram where the part contains the whole. And in the modern, stagnant world, your web is becoming glued, dehydrated, and silent. You are losing your internal signal. Imagine a high-speed fiber optic cable that has been bent, crushed, and left to dry in the sun. The signal becomes distorted, the data packets are lost, and the connection drops. This is the tragic state of the modern man's fascial system. Sedentary lifestyles, sitting in chairs that collapse the torso, repetitive micromotions of the thumb on a glass screen, and unexpressed emotional trauma cause the fascia to thicken and stick together. This creates what we call fuzz or biological adhesions. Your fiber optics are being short-circuited by your own lifestyle. You feel stiff not because your muscles are short, but because your fascial web has lost its conductivity and its glide. You are living inside a suit of biological armor that is slowly suffocating your internal organs, restricting your blood flow, and dimming the light of your consciousness. You are a prisoner in a cage made of your own dehydrated tissue. But there is a deeper, more esoteric secret within the threads. Fascia is the primary seat of cellular memory. Because it is a crystalline structure, it has the capacity to store vibrational imprints of every experience you have ever had. The tension you carry in your jaw, the tightness in your pelvic floor, the knot in your upper back, these are not just physical issues. They are literally written into the collagen fibers of your web. Every trauma, every fear, and every suppressed emotion creates a structural glitch in the matrix. To be truly sovereign, you must learn to clear the lines. You must learn how to rehydrate the web, not with common, dead tap water, but with specific movement, intent, and frequency. When the fascia is fluid, elastic, and hydrated, you become a superconductor for the energy generated by your bone battery. You begin to move with a grace that seems supernatural to the uninitiated, because you are no longer fighting your own internal friction. You are no longer a collection of parts, you are a flow. We must discuss the piezo-light connection. As we established in the previous chapter, your bones generate electricity through movement. The fascia is the conduit that carries that electricity to every cell. But it does something even more miraculous. It conducts biophotons, tiny particles of light emitted by your DNA. Your facial web is literally a house of light. It is the hardware for your spiritual software. When you are healthy, flexible, and hydrated, your internal internet is running at 10G speeds. Your intuition is sharp, your reflexes are lightning fast, and your body heals at an accelerated rate because the blueprints for repair are transmitted instantly. But when the web is bound and dry, the light is trapped. The communication breaks down. You become a dim bulb in a high-voltage universe, wondering why you feel disconnected from your purpose and your power. The architects of the current paradigm, the ones who want you compliant and predictable, prefer you to stay rigid. Rigid minds live in rigid bodies. If the system can keep your facial web tight, brittle, and dehydrated through fear, lack of movement, and toxic nutrition, they can effectively lock your consciousness into a lower, reactive frequency. A tight web is a reactive web. It keeps you in a state of constant fight or flight, disconnected from the higher processing centers of the brain. A fluid web is a conscious web. It allows for the expansion of the self. To break the matrix, you must first break the physical adhesions in your own connective tissue. You must melt the biological glue that keeps you tethered to the old, wounded version of yourself. You must become liquid to become free. In this chapter, we will not focus on stretching in the way a gym teacher would suggest. We will explore facial melting and hydration rituals designed to restore the crystalline shimmer of your living fiber optics. We will talk about the absolute necessity of movement, the slow, sustained, deep loading that reaches past the superficial muscle and sinks into the crystalline matrix. We will look at the role of specific elemental minerals, silica, sulfur, and magnesium in maintaining the elasticity and conductive shimmer of your internal web. We will discuss why structured movement is more important than heavy movement. Pay very close attention, for your sovereignty is not a philosophical concept, it is a physical state of fluidity and electrical coherence. If your web is broken, your sovereignty is an illusion. Consider the geometry of your existence. Every time you open your arms, every time you twist your spine, you are not just exercising, you are recalibrating your internal antenna. You are stretching the fiber optic cables to ensure the light can reach the darkest corners of your anatomy. When you open the facial lines of your chest, you are removing the dampening field from your heart's electromagnetic output. When you release the fascia of your feet, you are clearing the static from your connection to the Earth's grounding current. You are a biological instrument of immense complexity, and today, we learn how to tune the strings so the music of your life can be played without distortion. The age of the stiff, broken, disconnected man is coming to an end. The age of the fluid, integrated, sovereign human is beginning. You are not a machine made of parts. You are a shimmering, translucent web of light, held together by a sacred geometry of fibers that connects you to the very fabric of the cosmos. It is time to unbind the web. It is time to let the light flow through the cables again. It is time to reclaim the integrity of your crystalline self. The protocol is not about adding something new, it is about removing the glue that doesn't belong to you. It is about returning to the original blueprint of the master architect. As we prepare to descend into the practical applications of the facial resurrection, I want you to feel the space between your skin and your muscles. That space is not empty. It is filled with the shimmering web of your destiny. Every breath you take ripples through this network. Every thought you think vibrates through these fibers. You are more connected than you ever dared to imagine. Let the melting begin. Let the hydration return. Let the light of your biophotons find its way home to every cell in your body. We are moving from the stone of the bone to the silk of the web. This is the Thorne Protocol, and you are the masterpiece. Stay sovereign. Stay vigilant. Let the weaving of the new web begin. Understand that as you release the tension in your physical web, you will also release the mental and emotional patterns that have held you captive. The body and the mind are not two separate things, they are two ends of the same facial thread. Pull one, and the other moves. This is why true healing is always a structural event. This is why sovereignty begins in the tissue. Let the resonance of this truth vibrate through your fibers. The awakening of the facial web is the awakening of your true potential. Stand tall, move fluidly, and let the world see the shimmer of a man who has cleared his lines.